What's good, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome back to Kingdom Connects, where today we're going to dive a little more into the running back group, specifically in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and some rankings that people are projecting in specific Madden rankings of the 2022 NFL season. But before we do dive into that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I will keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. But without further ado, let's dive into Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, I know making this video, I'm talking about two things people don't highly view greatly at all, and that's one, our starting running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and two, a lot of people aren't a big fan of the game Madden, any year, whatever, but it seems like progressively every year Madden gets out, a lot of people think it gets worse and worse, and even the players too, they don't like where they're ranked, they don't like how they're viewed and things like that. But with Madden 2023 coming out in August, there's been leaked rankings for every position. Now, I don't know if these are true or not. This is something I just happened to scroll upon on Twitter. The running back position happened to catch my eye. Now, you might think rankings aren't legit. Like I mentioned, players don't think it's legit because they don't like how they're viewed, specifically in a game like Madden when that's something they have grown up and played on. And of course, they want to be one of the highest ranked, no matter even if they have performed to it. They view themselves as 99. But let's jump into the running back group, because one thing that caught my eye, and if it didn't catch your eye, it should have. And I know a lot of Chiefs Kingdom doesn't view Clyde Edwards-Helaire that highly whatsoever. Apparently, neither does Madden. Now, out of 32 running backs in the league, they got Clyde Edwards-Helaire ranked 32 out of 79 overall. And I was like, damn, like, wow. Like, out of all starting running backs, I'm not even at that too. You don't have to be a starter to be ranked high in this. They try to base it off of everything together, whether it be agility, whether it be how good of running back you are catching. You know the kind of gist this goes into. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be ranked 32 out of 32, and then also have some backups ranked ahead of him, caught my eye. And I was like, damn, I thought maybe, I'm not gonna lie, I thought maybe like 18 to 24 range, but I get it, he had an off year, so he's gonna have a really bad ranking. But then I had to look at the players ahead of him too, and then this is where I'm gonna break my phone out and we're gonna go through this list and just have fun with it. So let's see what we got here. Now, the top three, it depends on how you debate it or how you view it whatsoever, but Madden has it Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. You can reorder that any way you want. I think those are the top three running backs in the league. Honestly, if we're basing it off of last year, I'd have Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, then Nick Chubb, just because Derrick Henry was hurt most of last year. But again, I get it, because Derrick Henry is a different type of beast. It's hard to replace. Or you could have Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor. Again, those three teams, their focal point is the running game. So I get it, that's where that's going to be solidified and stay. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but you will see it on the screen, and then you can make your adjustments in the comments down below on how you view it. But I'm going to start with the bottom half, because I'm going to view it mostly on, are these running backs better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? How would they fit with Kansas City? Would it make Kansas City a better team? So let's jump with that. As I mentioned, number 32, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire at a 79 overall. Number 31, you got A.J. Dillon tied at a 79 overall. I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably like A.J. Dillon a little better. I don't know too much if he's a better receiving back or not. That was the main focus on why Kansas City drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire, was because he's a great receiving back. We haven't really seen it that much. You can mention the player, you can mention coaching, whatever it is, it hasn't been seen. But I do like A.J. Dillon a lot. Next, you got Elijah Mitchell. This is where you could push back. You'd be like, Elijah Mitchell should be rated higher, or it could be the system and things like that. And also, you don't know if he can do the same thing next following year, because Kyle Shanahan's system, any running back that's in that system always, provides, does very well. So it'd be interesting to see if they go running back by committee, or if Elijah Mitchell gets all those carries. It was rookie year. Rookie year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was ranked very well too. I don't know if I would take Elijah Mitchell over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I know a lot of you might find that crazy, but rookie year, we'll have to see how he does year number 2. And then We didn't see this player last year, J.K. Dobbins. I love J.K. Dobbins as a running back, especially in the Ravens backfield. It's unfortunate he tore his ACL last year. I would most definitely probably take J.K. Dobbins over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Even in the draft year 2, I would have preferred the draft J.K. Dobbins. But hey, we're here. I know Chiefs Kingdom would have felt the same way, even if they would have drafted Jonathan Taylor. But we are here. So right now, only pushback I would have is maybe Clyde Edwards-Helaire ranked over Elijah Mitchell. Then this one is the one where, man, okay, so Devin Singletary. This is an interesting one. Yes, he's got potential. So does Clyde Edwards-Helaire too. But is his potential way better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I would say not. And I would say he hasn't even done much more than Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be ranked 28. To even be rated over a J.K. Dobbins who, yes, I get an injury. I would have Clyde Edwards-Helaire over a Devin Singletary. But again, if you try to view it, how would Devin Singletary eat in the Kansas City offense? That's something you got to view too. Would you prefer Devin Singletary over Clyde Edwards-Helaire? That's an interesting one. I don't know. I really don't. I'd have to see more of Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But then again, you could say I got to see more of Devin Singletary too. That's interesting. I might give it to Clyde Edwards-Helaire on that one. And then you got Miles Sanders. What Miles Sanders are you getting? Are you getting the Miles Sanders a couple years ago? Or are you getting the Miles Sanders of last year where Philly just, didn't even focus on him whatsoever? Like, Miles Sanders is a beast when you give him the rock. But the Eagles weren't giving him the rock. So would I have him ranked that much higher than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Right now it's an 81. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is 79. So it's not that much higher. But they have him at the 27th spot. I wouldn't. Harris with the Patriots. Everyone is so hyped on Harris. I even bought the hype last year too. Yes, he does get production. Yes, he does get touchdowns. But I don't even know if he's the best running back on the Patriots. I like Stevenson a whole lot more. So in that too, I think a healthy Clyde Edwards-Helaire is better than Harris. Yeah, you guys might hate that take whatsoever. I don't care. I think Helaire, when healthy, is better. You also got to remember, Helaire coming into last season, there was a surprise injury none of us knew where he basically had him sidelined in the hospital, lost almost 20 pounds, then had to come back, and then we didn't know any of that. So it's not surprising he didn't perform to our standards because he wasn't himself. It's going to be interesting to see what he does next year if he stays fully healthy coming into 2022. He's going to get different type of opportunities that he would never have got because, one, Casey's receiving core is different. Two, he knows this could be his last chance. And then he's got to, try to fight off for Ronald Jones, too. I know a lot of Chiefs Kingdom wants to see Ronald Jones take over. I don't think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to give it up that easily. I know a lot of us want to see Isaiah Pacheco. If anything, that would be the guy I want to see. But I'm going to let Clyde Edwards-Helaire give up that job before anyone takes it from him. I think he's got a good fighting chance. Let's go on. This is where I kind of find it insulting, is in this 23 to 25 range. So I'll give 24. Keep Cam Akers there because he was hurt. He does have high potential. But again, we saw what he could do at the end of the year. But again, you don't know what can happen. Again, he came on strong. Definitely came on strong off a torn Achilles in 9 months. That is ridiculous. Not even 9. Was it 9 months? That's ridiculous. That injury should take people more than 2 years to come back. You recover in a year, and then you're not your full self the next year. Cam Akers is a freak. Antonio Gibson, too, I think should be ranked higher. And I think DeAndre Swift should be ranked higher. That is where I'm going to have a little pushback. Now, let's look into this. There wasn't. Okay. I thought I saw something that was going to make me push completely. The only crazy pushback I have is having... There could be a couple, actually. So, you got Chris Carson at 18. You got Melvin Gordon at 14. And then I think I'm going to stick with that. I thought Travis Etienne was in here, and I thought he was almost in the 20 range. And if that was the case, I get the potential Travis Etienne has, and I get you can say imagine Travis Etienne on the Chiefs over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I get that at all. We haven't seen him perform in the NFL, though. So wait. because James Robinson can still get more of the carries. Travis Etienne, he could just be a complete receiver and take like a Deebo Samuel role. You never know how that's going to go either. So that's going to be interesting to see. But Chris Carson, I do not know. I do not think he's better than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I really don't. I think he'll give you a good, he's kind of like my Sammy Watkins at the running back position. He'll give you a good couple games, and then he'll go MIA for the rest of the season. And also, too, they got a Rashad Penny. They got a Kenneth Walker. I don't think he should be, ranked 18th, let alone 84 ranking, and that far away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So that's something you got to take, too, because I think he could be traded before the season. I think he'd be cut before the season, honestly. He might not even be a Seattle Seahawk because I think they could focus mostly on a Rashad Penny and then a Kenneth Walker. They didn't draft Kenneth Walker in the second round for nothing. I think Chris Carson's days are very limited too. And then a Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams is taking that. He's taking it completely. Once they realize what we saw what he did last year and then he takes over completely, Melvin Gordon ain't eating into those carries. He just won't. I'm surprised they even re-signed him. And then also too, can he be a better running back than Clyde? Sure, but at this point of his career, and also what I think Clyde's going to do this year, I don't think he will be. And let me emphasize on what I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will do this year, because people hear that and be like, oh, this guy's crazy. He thinks Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to go for 1,500 yards and things like that. I don't. But also too, I think he's going to be productive. I think he can have over 1,200 scrimmage yards total. Now, people might not think that's a lot. To Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's a lot too, and I think that's very productive in this system. If he stays healthy and if he shows what he did in his rookie year and translates it into this year, he can be a problem. Yes, I know he doesn't have that it factor, that breakaway speed, that it factor in size, that it factor in agility. Sometimes he struggles to find the hole, but he does have those little pieces where you can put them together and he can be an effective back, especially in this system. And he might be able to show what he did in LSU, and that's his hands. And that could be his it factor too. What if he gets 5 to 8 receptions a game just off screen passes? That's what we were hoping for. If that's implemented in this year, Clyde Edwards-Helaire can be scary, and he can be the running back we dreamed of. I know a lot of people don't like Clyde Edwards-Helaire because we drafted him in the first round. Now, if we would have took him in the third round in that year, people would not have hated that pick whatsoever. They'd have been like, hey, yeah, it's not what we predicted, but again, we didn't spend it in the first round. I understand, but at the same time, I feel like he can be a factor this year, but that's the question I will leave. First question is, do you think Clyde Edwards-Helaire will have his best year in year 3? Or do you feel like this list I ran down, do you feel like he's really ranked the 32nd rusher in the league? Or do you feel like he should have been rated a little higher? Or do you feel like he should not have been on the list whatsoever? I know a lot of Chiefs Kingdom are tired of the Clyde Edwards-Helaire era. I'm going to give it one more year. I've been believing in the kid since day one. I think he's got a lot of juice left in the tank. And if he comes into it healthy, he's going to surprise a lot of people this year. But with that, Chiefs Kingdom, I'm closing this video out. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I will keep you up to date on anything Kansas City Chief related that you do not want to miss out on. And please do give me a thumbs up on this video. It does help me out also greatly, and I do appreciate all the love and support you guys do give. And with that, I'm closing out. Y'all take care. Peace.